right, Michelle.
Yeah.
So good to be here.
Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you. So we're going to talk about consumer expectations for experiences.
Okay.
And we know at CES, brands are showcasing systems and ecosystems, not one-off products. So where would you say your brand experience exists? Does it begin before the purchase, after the purchase?
I like this question because actually we had been making some organizational changes over the last few years, and my team is actually responsible for both marketing, pre-purchase, attracting customers, as well as post-purchase experience.
Oh.
Because post-purchase used to live more in a silo, more in customer support environment, and more we're recognizing that that's not realistic, right? It's one experience. It has to be holistic. You have to follow the customer throughout their entire lifetime. And I would say that post-purchase for us is probably the most important touch point we have.
It's easier to keep a consumer than to go find a new one, I would guess.
Yeah, and the data is really interesting. So let's say a customer buys your product, has an amazing experience, and you ask like the classic kind of NPS question is, would you recommend it to a friend? Yeah. They'll say 78% will say yes.
Oh.
If they used your product, they had a problem with that product, but then they had an outstanding support experience, 82% will recommend your brand. So actually like that touch point, that one-to-one, if it's really good, is incredibly powerful for loyalty.
Okay, awesome. And let's talk about the human layer of technology. Okay. So we know 64% of consumers say they trust a brand less when an interaction feels impersonal. That's from Gartner. Yep. And that maps to all of our experience as consumers. And so at CES, we're seeing AI, we're seeing data and automation, but when the tech amplifies humanity, not replacing it is really where brands we think win. So with your brand, with your product suite, where do you think the technology improves the humanity of the experience?
So for me, I think it is a volume game because there's only so many people that we can talk to ourselves, which means that we need technology. Like we need AI to expand our team and expand our voice. Something that I think is really amazing though about where AI has been going is I don't know how often you actually interface with AI or talk to ChatGPT.
Every day.
Every day, exactly. And it's kind of awesome, like its personality. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's super supportive of you. It tells you that every idea you have is the best idea that has ever existed, yes. Even if it's a different one than the one that just told you was the best idea.
Right.
It's a fun interaction. There's a reason everyone's gotten so into it. And so if we think back to the chatbots of 5 years ago that were like, I'm sorry, could you repeat the question or whatever, to a GPT experience, this is not the same. You almost can't just call them both AI. I almost want to take machine learning and put it in a whole other bucket now.
It's evolved so fast.
Like it is more human.
Yeah.
And for us, that's amazing because now you use agentic, you create someone who is exactly the person you would want representing your brand and talking to your customers.
Yeah. I have thought AI is almost misnamed, that they didn't have the word human in there. Because that's what's so unique about the technology is it sounds like a human, it presents like a human.
It's got a very, very distinct personality. Each of them has its own. I think that's a lot of fun. I think it's going to continuously evolve. And I think we as brands are going to get to really shape our agents in ways that they too are unique to us, which is going to be amazing.
Yep. All right. So moving from individual humans to communities, we do see brands at CES showcasing platforms and communities, not just individual users, which is really the superpower and hallmark of the creator economy that we represent at Viral Nation. We know from Harvard Business Review that brands with a strong sense of community see 37% higher customer retention, like you mentioned. So how does Panasonic create a sense of belonging, not just utility for their products?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I have this perspective from working on different product categories. So I have a category, Lumix, which is our digital cameras, and that community is incredible. They are fiercely loyal to the brand. They are springing up smaller groups all over Facebook and forums. There are subreddits dedicated to our brand. There is so much activity and people organically kind of creating community around our brand. That's phenomenal. As you might imagine, there are not a lot of organic communities around microwaves. Right. And for a brand to try and artificially create community where there's no organic interest in it, it really doesn't work. So I think that we have to really think about how we're offering value. Is community what customers want from you and your brand in that way? Is it in a different way? Is there a secondary, type of engagement? Is it just using social as a hub and letting them play together? But you got to put the customer first, as opposed to prioritizing that, we need a community.
Maybe we need a microwave community.
If you start one, I'm on board.
That's funny. All right, let's talk about trust.
Yeah.
So you have all these communities, you have these products, and we know as AI can help commoditize some of the functions that folks have in terms of marketing and interacting with your products, trust can be a differentiator. So 81% of consumers say trust is a deciding factor in what brand they pick, especially in a category perhaps like electronics. How do you think about building trust with your consumer base for the electronics in your brand?
Well, when we talk about using, whether it's creators or it's reviewers or it's PR, whatever, we call it trusted voices, right? We have very trusted voice centric policy. At the end of the day, for something like an electronic, you're not going to trust the brand, right? You need to hear it from somebody else who you relate to. So it's pretty central to our entire strategy. I will say that one of the shifts I'm trying to make internally, though, is to stop trying to push our narrative or our agenda through, let's say, creators or through those trusted voices, not being so detailed in these briefs and these things that they have to cover in their content, because that's not their job.
Now you're speaking my language.
It's not their job to tell our brand story. That's our job. It's their job to just give their own experience with our product, their own perspective.
And how do you pick them? How do you pick your trusted creator voices? What do you look for?
So more and more, we look for people who organically are using and loving our products and our brand. So rather than, hey, give us a list of creators who have X number of followers and X engagement rate, but no, now it's more about scrape and find me people who are talking about us, and then let's try and help build them up and build their brand up with them.
Awesome. And let's move to our lightning round. You ready for this?
I love a lightning round.
We got 7 fast questions.
Okay.
No overthinking.
Okay.
One brand experience you recently loved that is not your own.
Oh my gosh, that's.
Or you can give your own.
I have one. So I'm a big fan of Rent the Runway. It's one of my absolute favorite brands. I think that they've done an incredible job. The product itself, sustainable fashion. But I was going on a trip. I had started a wish list for that, and it was probably named something like the state we were going to. And customer support reached out, sent an email, and said, "Hey, Michelle, it looks like you're going on a trip soon. We're just going to go ahead and open up 2 spots for you."
Whoa!
And it was just, it's magic, right? It's magic. How could I ever not love this brand, right? Because it wasn't it was proactive. It was proactive surprise and delight, and I love that. And I think that's where obviously all of us want to get to.
You don't hear probably enough talk about proactivity, but I just learned something from you. I think that's a very good brand technique. One technology trend you are excited about and or one you're skeptical of?
Well, I think the conversation at CES, I've heard a lot of people say, "Ugh, I don't want to hear AI ever again."
Yeah.
And I'm completely the opposite. I love AI. I am so excited about it. I'm a New Yorker, so I'm a little impatient about it getting to where it can be, because it's like we're so close. Yeah. But as a marketer, your job is primarily efficiency. You have spent years trying to put people into buckets so that you can reach them within the bucket. At the same time, though, you are trying to personalize your experiences, and you want to give each person their own, what they need, what adds value to their lives. It doesn't happen in a bucket. But no marketer in the world has the bandwidth to figure that out for every person. So where AI is going to get us to is efficiently personalizing to every person, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it's about riding the wave and making you more you. Like content experimentation, allows you to do more of your own human creativity. What do you think consumers misunderstand the most about your industry?
I think that consumers think that electronics manufacturers are all evil, and that we design products that are going to die one day after their warranty is up.
Right.
I can't speak for all manufacturers, but I can tell you that Panasonic puts so much heart, soul, passion into what they make. I have seen hundreds of people across an entire lineup involved with a product, like devastated because of one bad review, right? Like Japanese culture is extremely nuanced, and they put so much attention into each detail, into trying to make the customer's life better. It's why we have a toaster oven that somehow has 27 different buttons on it, because it's like, but what if one person needs to heat up a roll? But that I love.
Yeah.
So we don't all have to hate our manufacturers so much.
I can feel the passion coming from you. Excellent. One moment where data changed your mind.
Ooh. Yeah. So we always sort of make an assumption that our customer is a little bit older, because historically Panasonic was bigger in TV. We did a lot more major advertising, and so we have a demographic there that's pretty loyal. However, recently we've started to see that in men's shavers, we are actually way over-indexing on younger consumers. And it's lots of young guys that are picking up the brand for the first time, whether they see us in social or what we do with creators. And so that was really fun for me to go back and report on, actually.
It's funny. I used the brand, the electric brand, in my youth, in my teens, so I can, that resonates with me. If your brand disappeared tomorrow, what would people miss the most?
Customer support for their 15-year-old microwave that's still working.
Funny. And one word that you think defines the future of brand experience?
I think value. I think that it's not our job to advertise and sell. It's our job to add value to your life.
Great. All right. So nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. Thanks
Pleasure.
so much, Nick.
Yeah.